Hey everybody, this is a SOMIFA playoff game between the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. The Jets were the top seed at 13-3. Let me open up their regular season stuff. And they had, did they face Green Bay during the regular season? I'm not sure. Tom has had a history of good luck against Ron in many leagues, including a bunch of wins in IFL when maybe he shouldn't have won. But it looks like Green Bay did not play the Jets. The Green Bay Packers pulled off a mild upset over the defending champion Cincinnati Bengals in the first round, in the wild card round, and now they're here with Ryan Tannehill and Carlos Hyde as their main weapons on offense, along with Chris Thompson. And the Jets, of course, are led by Andrew Luck, who's had a very good season, 29 touchdowns, 17 picks. Devontae Freeman ran for over 1,000 yards. Julio Jones caught passes for over 1,000 yards, 69 catches for 1,269 yards, which is ridiculous in a strat league, and 12 touchdowns to go along with that. Zach Ertz has 6 touchdowns. So a lot of weapons on both these teams. In the SOMIFA family of leagues, everybody uses the same defensive card, the generic average defensive card during the regular season. The team with the higher seed in the playoff gets the average run card and good pass card. So the Jets will have the average run card and the good pass card, while Ron will be, and the Green Bay Packers will have average still. So we're just waiting to kick off. Let's see if we can check out, remind ourselves of the first round matchup. Let me open this up again. SOMIFA playoffs. Here we are. So in the first, actually, Ron's won 2 games. He had to win a 36-0 contest. This is a mini playoff game to actually make the playoffs. So he beat Pittsburgh in that one quite handily, 36-0. Just dominated it from start to finish. Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback for the Steelers, but he couldn't get anything going that day. And Ezekiel Elliott, their fine running back, also couldn't get anything going. Then in the next round, this is the upset game. Ron was trailing 29-17 with about 10 minutes to go in the game. He got a touchdown, a 19-yard pass from Tannehill to Hyde to cut it to a single score. And then with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go, Tannehill hit Chris Thompson on a 7-yard touchdown pass to give the Bengals, the Packers, the lead over the Bengals. The Bengals' last drive fell short. So that's where we're at. And we're waiting for the kickoff to begin. Tom will give the signal. And the game is already delayed 45 minutes from the original start time due to the Packers having a water heater being replaced. I shouldn't have hit start broadcast because we're not doing anything yet. Should have just waited till they actually kicked off, because now we're going to have some dead time in the front. What else can we look at? What keys to the game? Let's check out these teams' reports. Offensive tendency report. So I like to look at 3rd down and 5 yards to go. These 2 areas. The Jets like to go to Allen Robinson on a short pass on 3rd down and 6 to 10 yards to go. Him and Devonta Freeman get quite a few targets. But you see he mixes it up pretty well. Nothing too predictable. How about on 4th and 1, 4th and short? Let's see what happens there. It looks like they're going, again, he's mixing it up really well. A line buck to Luck, a couple of off-tackle runs. Ryan Matthews has a really nice card. So he'll be somebody to keep an eye on how Tom uses him. He can hit you both guessed wrong and guessed right, which is unusual for one of those, one season kind of cards, because he did not have a very good year this year in the NFL. He has had good years in the past, though, so it's not like he's a one-year wonder, but certainly this card might be his last really effective card. Let's take a look at that card. But yeah, a lot of short gains on it. Even when he's guessed right, he's picking up 5 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, which, that can, with Tom's offensive line, that'll really help out. His offensive line does have 2 6s on it for run blocking, a couple of 4s and a 0. Good pass blocking, though. All 5s are better except for Riley Reef, who just had a down year last year. He should bounce back this year. Let's look at the Packers, as we're still waiting for the kickoff. So here we go, computer manager. So the Packers have 3 5s run blocking, and Lane Johnson, A.Q. Shipley, and Jack Conklin, who was Ron's first-round pick this year. And 1 4 and a 0. His pass blocking is all 5s are better, so he might get some good help on dump offs, which he'll need. Kenny Britt and Mike Evans are really nice 1-2 punch from the receiver readings, and Mike Wallace and Rashard Matthews are a nice 3-4. Let's see who he goes with as his starter. Third wide receiver is Rashard Matthews. So Mike Wallace is there to fill in for injuries if any of these top 3 go down, but those top 2 got to be 2 of the best in the business. We know Tom has Julio Jones. Okay, here we go. The kickoff has gone down to the 9-yard line. And that's where the Jets will begin the game at their own 25 after the touchback. Ryan Matthews is unlimited in the second half, I believe. So we'll see a lot of Devonta Freeman here early in this game. But Tom would love to be, going into the second half with a lead and a better running back card coming in as his main ball carrier. So we're going to have another 10 to 20-minute interruption. This is going to be a long game. Tom calls a slow game. Ron's pretty deliberate too. But I expect a typical regular season game between 2 generic coaches to be about 90 minutes. This game is going to be probably about 2.5 hours. 2 hours would be great if we can get it done in 2 hours. So we'll see what happens. I almost feel like I should just record it with no sound and then record it again on the speed on this 2 times speed version, so we get it at like a normal rate. But we'll see. I'm already complaining, and the game's barely started. So here we go. 1st and 10, 2 tight end set with Kobe Fleener and Zach Ertz as the tight ends. Andrew Luck under center. Facing a 4-3 defense. Pitch out left to run. Oh, no, excuse me. Ryan Matthews obviously is over 100 carries, so he can come in whenever. I thought he was one of these 75 carry guys. He's a 155 carry guy, so he's able to come in either half, and he has 17 unfatigued carries. So he gets first 4 yards on first down on the end run, on the off tackle. No, it wasn't an end run. Pitch out left. Pitch out left again with a run call. So Ron's not just going to let him run guessed wrong. And that goes for 2 yards. That would have been a short gain, guessed wrong. So guessed right for 2 yards, 3rd down and 4 for the Jets. Devonta Freeman comes in on 3rd down. He's a little bit better receiver. He can go short, maxed flat pass wrong card. If we get a run call here and a receiver reading, that could be good if it's going to Devonta. Allen Robinson guarded by a 4, Jones guarded by a 5, and Ertz guarded by a 6. Fleener's also guarded by a 5, that outside linebacker in this formation. Square out left to Jones. 7 yards and a first down. A short pass there would have been incomplete. Luck's got a very kind of a atypical quarterback card. Not atypical, they're all different, but great card, except when he hits a 7, guessed wrong, it's incomplete. Guessed right would have been must run, so he would have had a good chance to pick that up, even if it was a short pass. Look at that must run card. Oh yeah, it would have a great chance. 2 yards or more from 10, from 2 to 10. So here we go, 1st and 10. Pitch out left to Ryan Matthews. Another run call. Ron's not going to let you run guessed wrong, and that's Tom's looking to establish that early. Loses 2 yards. So he's keeping Ryan Matthews in check early. 3 runs for 4 yards. That is not the way Tom wanted to start. He had a chance for 2 short gains. If it would have been somebody like me who calls pass all the time, he would have already had 2 big plays and be in Green Bay territory. So 2nd and 12. Tom's had a very good year. He's commented at times that this isn't one of his, top teams. I should put this out there for a live link in case anybody wants to follow us, although I doubt it at this time of day. He's just had a very, there's no dominant team in SOMIFA this year. So any one of these final 8 teams could easily win. You could envision them winning the playoffs. Ryan Matthews still in there. We got Trenton Murphy checking into the game. It's a bomb to Allen Robinson. 2 men coming, 1 man in zone, and boom, down goes Luck. Ron brought the heat. He brought in his pass rush specialist, outside linebacker. And the test was Rob Ninkovich against Jawan James, a 9 against a 5, a 9 enhanced, because Ninkovich is usually an 8. But the formation and the extra linebackers adjusted that. 53% chance of a sack, and it was a random 49, so it'll be 3rd and 18. Philip Dorsett checks into the game as a 3rd wide receiver. So Ron will alternate Rob Ninkovich, who's a 4.46, with Trent Murphy, who's a 0.511. If you want to get a little, plug in a zone, maybe Tom thought he wanted to plug a zone there with a run call, but he plugged the zone but called pass. So let's go over here. Three, 3-5 against 3 wide. And now we have 2 0 linebackers in the game as Alex Okafor checks in, covering Devonta Freeman. Now that's dangerous. Devonta Freeman can go 35 yards on a max. Can't go deep, though. So maybe that's why Ron's bringing him in. Can't remember who his other linebacker is over there. It's a screen right to Freeman. Guessed right, picks up 10, and that'll bring up 4th down. If he had moved the linebacker, it would have been a 16-yard pickup, still would have been 4th down, and Tom likely would have punted this early in the game at least. 52-yard punt down to the 8-yard line. Eric Weems is back there, and he calls for the fair catch. So the Packers will start inside their own 10. Carlos Hyde in the game. Ryan Tannehill's the quarterback. Hunter Henry and Zach Miller are the tight ends. Henry's a nice second tight end to have. And like I said, Britt and Evans, 2 fantastic receivers. So it's a nice offense there. Let me share this out real quick. First and 10 at the 8. 11:06 to go in the first quarter. Okay. So still an effective first drive for Tom. He was able to flip the field, pin the Packers deep, pitch out right to Carlos Hyde, pass call against this run, and offensive onside guard +8 or +3. And Steve Wisniewski and his 4 run rating makes the block. 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Reading the run block ratings from left to right. So 5s and 4s all the way across. No 6s, but no 0s either. Second and 2 out to the 16. Ron would love to pick up a couple first downs here, and at the very minimum, to not give the Jets good field position. Off tackle right to Hyde. Again, a run call. No movement by the linebackers. Free safety doubling Mike Evans. The dreaded 5 comes up, and that's a 0-yard gain. Tom really needed that. He had 6 out of 36 chances not to pick up the first down. That means that 30 out of 36, any other roll really, besides 5 and 3, would have been a first down. 3rd and 2, big 3rd down here. Tom picked up Brian Robison in SOMIFA. He has him here in SOMIFA. It's a nice final card for Mr. Robison. Final starting card. He's still active, I think, as a backup for the Vikings. Nice and deliberate. Fly to Mike Evans against the run key call against Hyde. That means there's 0 men in zone. That means he's covered by a 4. That means a 30-yard gain on Tannehill's card. Huge result there for the Packers. It still would have been 30 yards guessed right or guessed wrong. There was no sack chance. It was a 1X on the white die, or sorry, on the black die. And there you go. So nice pickup there. Tom went for the all-out key, and it was a nice pitch and catch from Tannehill to Evans. Artie Burns on the tackle. Bomb to Kenny Britt. A run call, 1 man in zone. Incomplete. Back-to-back bombs. That's something that Tom and I both like to do, and apparently Ron does as well. He says, I'm not going to be intimidated by past results. Ron's one of the better coaches in the game. He plays a very steady, very solid style. He doesn't leave himself open, doesn't make very many mistakes. He may not take as many risks as some of us, but he still will bring the heat, as we saw in that sack, and he's still willing to throw deep. I think you need to be able to throw deep in these playoff games to have success. That can be such a huge determinant in winning or losing a game, is hitting those big plays. There's no penalties. There's no injuries in the playoffs. There's no penalties, period, but we got rid of those entirely. But there are injuries in the regular season, not in the playoffs. So those two factors are out. So what does that leave? That leaves big plays and turnovers as the two biggest determinants when you have a contest between equal partners. Quick slant to Hunter Henry, run call. There's a 5 linebacker there. And it's a white die 6 30-yard gain. Boom. 2 30-yard plays on this drive has taken the Packers all the way from their own 8 down to the Jets' 24 and into field goal range. Tannehill, 2 of 3 for 30 yards. I guess that's another factor, is if you can get some of those white die 6s, some lucky rolls. That was an optimum result for the Pack. Carlos Hyde's still in there. So when you're facing a team like this, crossing pattern to Britt, single covered by a 6. And that's guessed right, plus 11 on Tannehill's card. So Tannehill's red hot like a firecracker. Let's talk a bit about the Jets' defense. Up front, they go 4-5-5, actually 4-8. There's their pass rush there. 5-0 in Guyon, and 5-3 in Chris Baker. So you get pass rush from the left end. He's facing a 5-5, so you can still get some heat there. But his real pass rush comes from his linebackers. Melvin Ingram is a 5-6-10. Deion Jones and Bernardrick McKinney are both 5s against the pass. 5-4-0 for Jones, 5-5-8. So you have an 8 and a 10 linebacker. Off tackle right to Carlos Hyde, guessed wrong, 1 man in zone. And linebacker in zone, -1 or +4. So there's Deion Jones's 4 run rating. Remember, we said he was a 5-4-0. That helped make the stop and had him lose a yard. And the outside linebacker on the right is Mark Barron, 5-4-3. This is a good formation for Ron to use because he's kind of pinning Melvin Ingram back a little bit by having him covering Carlos Hyde, although Tom could shift that by doubling with the free safety. You guessed wrong here on a flat, and he's maxed out. Maybe not as much yardage as some backs, but still pretty good. 3-4 showing blitz. 2nd and 8. Will Tom actually blitz when he shows blitz? That's always a fun factor to see how these two coaches play the cat and mouse game. Off tackle left. So he did not blitz, and he did not call run. So it's guessed wrong run on Hyde's card, 11 yards and a first down. Thinking he might have been throwing a look in again. He left 2 men at home. 1st and goal at the 3. So Ron's knocking on the door here, looking to take the early lead. And remember, the Packers will get the ball first in the second half. There's plenty of times, though, in the NFL. We saw it with the conference championship game between the Vikings and the Eagles, where one team will just look dominant on one drive. The Vikings opened up, drove right down the field, got a touchdown, and they wound up losing like 38-7. So this doesn't necessarily mean that the Packers are going to run away with this. It's just one drive in a game which will have about 10, 12 drives for each team at a minimum. So first and goal at the 3. Again, a slow, deliberate pace. 6:36 to go in the first quarter. Hard for me to tell if the delay is coming from Tom making his defensive calls or Ron making his offensive calls. But both coaches are two of the more deliberate ones. A sneak to Tannehill from 3 yards out, guessed right, 2-man end zone. And it's a 3-yard gain on the average run defense cards, and that's a touchdown. Jason Myers in to try the extra point. He's good from 2 to 10, I believe. Yep, bad on 11 and 12. They moved the extra points back, so it's 2 years now in the NFL. But this playoff game is based on the 2016 card set, the first year that they moved it back. Oh my goodness, we got a touchdown roll. Is it a white die 6 or is it a real touchdown? It is a real touchdown. There he goes. Wendell Smallwood, I think a 4th or 5th round pick by Tom, just proves his worth. It's such a huge boost to get a big special teams play in the playoffs. Jason Myers does not have a lot of touchbacks on his card, so went to the 4 and rolled the 11 for the return, and just like that, it's 7-7. That takes some of the pressure off Tom, lets him all breathe a sigh of relief. Kickoff is a touchback, even though we did not see that. Let's take a quick look at the return cards for both these teams. So the kickoff returns for the Packers, there's no touchdown on there, and there's no touchdown on the punt return card. So definite advantage here for the Jets, special teams wise. And again, this is one of those things that Tom says he looks at when he's looking for a team to compete. He wants to get those final touches. Look at that. So those 2 punt returners have big returns on 2, as well as a touchdown on 11 for Smallwood. Screen right to Carlos Hyde. 2 guys were in the zone, so it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. So the Packers now try to get their lead back. Time of possession is going to be highly skewed here towards the back. Second and 10. Green Bay at their own 25. Checking on when Tom got Smallwood. Picked him up in round 3. The Jets grabbed him. So good investment. Crossing pattern to Britt with a run key here. So it's guessed wrong, guarded by a 6, though. Receiver rating could be huge. And it is a receiver rating, but it hit one of the blanks there. Britt is not maxed out. He has a lot of yards. Really good deep as well. But Evans would have been complete for 17 yards. But, you know, sometimes you don't want to throw the guy that's covered by a 4 because, you know, he's going to, you know, Tom loves to double cover up those guys who are covered by 4s. So 3rd and 10, 3 wide for the Packers. And it looks like maybe 3-2-6 for the Jets, although that just might be the computer suggestion, and he'll switch it to 3-3-5. 3-2-6, I think, is more manageable when you don't have a back in there that can run, even though it's 3rd and 10 and you probably won't see a run. But yeah, he'll stick with the 3-3-5 just in case Hyde decides to take it on a draw. He is showing blitz, though. Ron might push it. You might see Tom pull two guys back. Who knows? It's a slow, deliberate pace. Slant to Zach Miller. Everybody's coming. Covered by a 4. And it's a dump off for 15 yards to Rashard Matthews. It was a 39% chance of a sack thanks to Andre Branch's enhanced 9 pass rush rating, but it was up against Lane Johnson, who's pretty good as a 5 pass blocker. And the random was 44, just outside the number needed for a sack. So big play there for Ron. And it wasn't just a dump off where it hit the quarterback's guard for 7 yards or 4 yards or 6 yards. It hit a receiver reading, hit the snake eyes. The only 2 that would have been first downs were 2 and 5, but he hit one. And there you go. It's that quick out left to Zach Miller, guarded by 5. Oh, another 30-yard white die 6. That's the third 30-yard play for the Packers. 30 is their lucky number. So you get the white die 6 and you get box cars on the roll. Tannehill, 5 of 8, moved the ball right down the field thanks to those 2 big plays. The dump off on third down and followed up by a white die 6 for 30 yards. First and 10 at the Jets 30. See, and you can't really complain about luck on either side here. Tom's saying, oh, Ron's getting lucky. He's getting the white die 6. And Ron's saying, look at Tom. He's getting lucky. He's rolling out a kick return touchdown. So that's just part of Strat. You can't get angry when a game based on dice rolls is random. Seven-yard pickup on first down, linebuck, 0 minute zone. So we're going to have a 5-minute break here. So we will be back in 5 minutes. Might have one more play. Second and 3. Are they stopping now? I thought I saw somebody click a formation. Yeah, I think we're done for 5. Hey there. What's up, Nathan? Now you can turn your mic back on if you can talk. If you can't, that's fine too. But we're 3:36 to go in the first quarter. 7-7 Packers and Jets, and Tom needs a 5-minute break for a nursing visit. So hang tight. I'm going to turn off my microphone and go take care of something. All right, I think we're kind of close to getting back going again, maybe, possibly. No movement yet, but take a look at the early stats. It's going to be pretty one-sided, I would think. We had a 3 and out, or 1 first down and out by the Jets. And then everything else has been Green Bay because the Jets got the kick return touchdown after the touchdown by the Packers. Quick out left to Zach Miller. It's a 2-yard pickup, guessed right on Miller's receiver card, 3rd and 1 at the 21. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Hyde is in there in the 2 tight end set. That's a tough offense to stop, I should say. With all those really good receiver targets. This is not a great Tannehill card necessarily, but with all those targets, you have a lot of options to think about. And of course, with a great running back like Hyde. Hyde has 17 unfatigued carries remaining. That's one of the curl to Mike Evans, 3-minute zone guessed wrong. This could be a big play, and there's that incompletion on 7, just like Luck, who has it guessed wrong, also incomplete on 7. Same kind of card here for Tannehill, where it's a must run on 7 guessed right, incomplete on 7 guessed wrong. So Ron sends out the field goal unit. Nice stop by Tom. Although sometimes a good call comes with a bad result. Sometimes a bad call comes with a good result. It's a fumble split, but the Jets get it back. The same reading of 11, if that would have been to the number 1 returner, that would have been another touchdown. Can you imagine 2 touchdowns? But it went to the number 2 returner, who's Tyler Ervin, and he coughs it up but gets it back. Wendell Smallwood actually was on the field and recovered the fumble. So Smallwood making an early bid for MVP as he's making touchdowns and preventing turnovers. So the Jets will start down 3. Make sure we're all set with our broadcast. We're no longer muting anything. Curl to Julio Jones being double covered, but it's a hit on Luck's quarterback card on its double team completions on 2 and 5. Pretty nice setup there for Luck. And we know that Jones is a receiver that even when it goes to receiver reading, he can catch a double team pass as well. Quick peek at that. He's got the double team completions on his card. Bomb to Allen Robinson, single cover by 4. Guessed right, though. 0-minute zone. It's a dump off for 13. So there's a nice start to the drive for the Jets as they move it out to their own 42. Now they go 3 wide. Interesting. That pass rush chance was Abry Jones. He's a 5-0 against David DeCastro, so there was 0 chance of a sack on that one. Philip Dorsett checks in as the 3rd wide receiver. Tom might be looking to try to attack those flats, look for some white die 6s of his own. The call is in. Ron brings in Yannick Ngakoue. Sideline left to Robinson being double covered, incomplete. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Ron brought the free safety over to cover up that 4 cornerback. Speaking about draft picks, we said Tom picked up Smallwood late in the third round. You know who Ron's third round pick was? That man, Yannick Ngakoue. So he'll bring him in on 3 wide sets. Even here, he brings him in, backs him up with 0.5 Murphy. So if you run it to 0, he'll bring that 5 run rating down, give him a boost. 2 really plus pass rushers. 3, McCoy, Ngakoue, and Murphy. Crossing pattern to Allen Robinson. He does have a linebacker coming. Defender X or short gain. No double team there, though. And Captain Munnerlyn. I said, Captain. I said, what? Captain did not make the play. Captain Sensible would not have been happy. So when he's going 3 wide, he's got 4s covering the 3rd wide receiver. That's Antoine Bethea and Allen Robinson. This time on a 3 wide, Ninkovich stays in the game. Ninkovich could switch over here and replace Tuitt on pass rush situations. 1st and 10. Hitch to Julio Jones, single covered, guarded by a 5 and a 5 in the zone. Defender -2 or +4, and it's incomplete. If you're new to Strat, you cannot have a negative result on a look-in pass. So that -2 yards becomes an incomplete. Desmond Trufant's 5 makes the play against the white back 5. Toronto alternate between Lawrence Guy's 5-0 and Yannick Ngakoue's 0-9. And then when he brings Murphy in the game, he could also switch Ninkovich over here to replace Tuitt, especially if Tom's in a 3 wide with being in a shotgun. That takes away the ability to end run, although Andrew Luck does have a nice end run card. Let's see how many times he can use it. He has 2. So that's something to keep an eye on. So there we see what I was talking about. Ninkovich comes over to replace the 5-3. Then we have, now everybody's coming. It's an inside run, guess wrong, and no linebacker support. So that's a 7 roll with a box, and that makes it a 15-yard gain. Ron was looking for a sack there to kind of make it difficult to pick up the first down. Tom changed it up, went to a run, and it is now 1st and 10 inside field goal range. Short pass to Fleener, covered by a 5. And receiver rating incomplete. Let's take a quick look at the Jets field goal kicker. He's 2 through 10 out to the 32, 2 through 6 to the 39. That's Sebastian Janikowski. So definitely in field goal range, although he'd like to at least pick up a couple more yards to make the variable not come into play. Slant to Fleener again, going right back to it. It's a short gain on a dump off as Stephon Tuitt, that 5-3, could not make the sack against Juwan James's pass block 5 rating. 5% chance of a sack, random 35. So 1st and 10 down to the 16. Tom's not really thinking field goal. Tom's thinking touchdown. Tom mentioned to me before the game that he was looking at his offense, and just about everybody out there is a draft pick of his, either in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round. So that's one way to build a team. We know I like to trade like crazy and don't get tied to players. Tom likes to groom them from when they come into the league and hang on to them as long as possible. Although he did add Ryan Matthews as a nice piece for the season. Ron's also a drafter, heavy drafter. His first 3 picks are all seeing action here. We got Conklin. Screen left, it's Freeman. Single covered. There's a 5 linebacker there, incomplete. Ron's first 3 picks this year were Conklin, Hunter Henry in the 2nd round, Yannick Ngakoue in the 3rd round. So that's 3 really important pieces. Tom's top 3 picks in this draft were He had 2 first-round picks, Artie Burns and Deion Jones. Second-round pick was Kenny Clark, who's going to be really good next year, and Shaq Lawson. Slant to Fleener, covered by 5, 3-minute zone, must run for 9 yards as Andrew Luck takes it down to the 7, 3rd and 1. Tom also picked up DJ Reader. So he's got DJ Reader, Kenny Clark, and Shaq Lawson in round 2. In round 3, he picked up Wendell Smallwood, who's already made an impact. So both these guys are getting contributions from their draft picks in this playoff game, which is what you want. Third and 1. Freeman in there in a 2 tight end set. He did not go full house. He wants to have that Allen Robinson versus Captain Munnerlyn matchup available. And that is where he goes. It's a run call. Short pass to Robinson. And there's that Andrew Luck incomplete. Guess strong. 4th and 1. What will the Jets do? Do they dare go for it? Or do they just want to make sure the game's level again before giving up the scoring threat? Decisions. And we're just waiting. Just waiting for Tom to decide what to do. In the meantime, we can check the scouting results. New York Jets. Nope, he's going to go for the field goal. So forget about his 4th and 1 tendencies. Decides to play it safe. Kicks up and good. And it is now a 10-10 ball game. We're waiting. Oh, we missed kickoff again. So it's at the touchback out to the 25. The animation on these games, sometimes they don't sync up quite right, and you have a play skip now and then. It's like that's what happened. So we got first down and 10, 11:42 to go in the half. Packers get the ball. Off tackle left to Carlos Hyde. Defense stays put, calls run. Defensive end +2 or +9, and Chris Baker cannot make the play as he gives up the 9. No white die 6 again. Hyde 6 runs for 34 yards. Second and 1. Off tackle left again. Ron goes to the ground. Going to pound some first downs out here. Guessed wrong. 2 of the flats have 2 men in the zone. It's a 4-yard pickup. I'm guessing even guessed right. It would have been a first down, and I am right. 4 yards either way. First and 10 out to the 38. Carlos Hyde it's a 33 out of 1,000 for a fumble, so 3.3 chance of a fumble. Guessed right. Crossing pattern to Kenny Brick, covered by 6, 3-minute zone. Defender extra long gain, and that's incomplete. Malcolm Butler making the play. Second and 10. You want to get Tannehill in 3rd and long. It makes it a lot more difficult for him to pick him up. All this work, all this drafting, preparation, trading, playing the regular season, all this playoff game. One of these teams will go home. One of them will advance to the semifinals, where they will join Nathan, whose Atlanta Falcons are already in the semifinals after defeating the Detroit Lions. Bomb to Kenny Britt, single cover by a 4, guessed right, 0 min in zone. There are 2 linebackers coming. Receiver reading incomplete. I'm sorry, he was not covered by a 4. That's Evans who's covered by a 4. Britt is covered by a 6. Regardless, it's incomplete. Let's just, out of curiosity, check out Mike Evans' card on a 9, also incomplete. 3rd and 10. Now you got Tannehill on 3rd and long. So he's had a 30-yard completion on a long pass, guessed wrong, on Snake Eyes. 2 30-yard white dice 6 rolls on flat passes against linebackers that were rated a 5. So that's 90 of his 118 yards came on those 3 plays. The other 3 completions resulted in 18 yards. Or I'm sorry, in 28 yards. So 3rd and 10 here. Tannehill's hot start is starting to fade as he's thrown a couple incompletions in a row. Fly to Mike Evans, single cover by a 4. Everybody's coming. The house is coming. Tom needs a sack chance. Ron needs to go on his own card. Guessed right on a 9, 35-yard gain. So there's the 4th 30-plus play by Ryan Tannehill. Thank you very much, he says. There was no sack chance. It was not a D. It was a 1X. So even with a free safety blitz, that would have been a completion for 35 yards. So we've had 3 drives for the Packers so far. 2 of them have resulted in points, and this one's already in scoring range. Slant to Hunter Henry, covered by a 5, 3-minute zone to dump off for 7 yards. 2nd and 3. No turnovers today. Turnovers, big plays will tail the tail. There's the big plays for the Packers so far. A 30-yard hookup to Mike Evans on a guessed wrong long pass card, or a long pass play on Tannehill's card for 30 yards on Snake Eyes. There's those 2 30-yard flat pass plays to the tight ends. Had a white dice 6 in boxcars. And then we just saw the 35-yard connection on Tannehill's long gain on 9. So 2nd and 3 here. Pitch out right to Hyde. Guessed wrong, 0-minute zone. And there's a 4 defensive end there. Short gain, 15 yards, down to the 5. So Green Bay is looking to go touchdown, field goal, touchdown here on their first 3 drives. Everybody's putting together long drives except for the opening punt after a first down by the Jets, as well as their kick return touchdown. First and goal at the 5. Same formation we've seen all game, except this time he brings in Chris Thompson. Inside the 9, you don't have, Chris Thompson's unlimited in the second half. You can catch a short pass a little better than Hyde. Three, 4, not showing blitz. Tackle run to Chris Thompson, 0-minute zone, guessed right though. Offensive onside tackle, +6 or +1, and this time Jack Conklin does not make the play. He's a 5 run blocker, and The white die 6, instead of helping the Packers, this time it hurts them. Carlos Hyde back in the game. Second and goal from the 4. A little retro stocks league with Kurt Klein, heavy jumbo on the forum. Second and goal at the 4. 7:30 to go in the half. Pretty much a dream start for the Packers, as they've put together long drives on just about every play. Slant to Hunter Henry is a pass call. Incomplete. Guess right on Tannehill's card. Guess wrong would have been a receiver reading. 3rd and 4. Tom needs one more. It would have to feel like a victory if he can home to a field goal here. We're doing the 1989 season in the Strat Retro League right now. I won the league with 1988 Seahawks, which is pretty cool. First time the Seahawks have won that stock league. I had them in the Super Bowl in the 1983 season, lost to Ron Dickinson and his 1983 Minnesota Vikings. 1986. I'm sorry, that was 1986. Run to Mike Evans, 4-minute zone. Curl to Mike Evans against a run call. It's going to be a touchdown. And there's the Packers' first 3 possessions: touchdown, field goal, touchdown. And we're almost to almost at halftime, 6 minutes to go. If the Jets put together a long drive here, that means that each team would have only gotten 3 or 4 possessions in the first half. But there could be several possessions after this. 28-yard return, that takes it out to the 30. Wendell Smallwood has a nice pickup there. So Packers leading 17-10. The number 1 seed Jets up against it, and the Packers will get the ball first. So they don't want to give them the ball back and have them be able to put more points on the board, followed by getting the ball back in the second half. That would be just a big swing. So let me check this for Kurt so he can find out. I know this is not what you guys want to see on the broadcast, but let me just do this real quick. Square to Allen Robinson, receiver reading for 7 yards as he went 3 wide, looking to do some Minnesota Vikings, SOMIFA Minnesota Vikings style offense, and that picks up a good chunk, but sets up 2nd and 3. Reports, league standings, print. You can print it. You can print it to a PDF. Save it on your desktop. Second and 3. Tom goes back to a 2 tight end set. So then you can share this. Grab it from downloads. Big drive here for the Jets. Bomb to Philip Dorsett being double covered. So Tom brought in Philip Dorsett as the second wide receiver instead of Allen Robinson because he has a better deep card. Dorsett's a 3-3-5 deep. Looks like Robinson's a 2 deep. Or a 4 deep, I'm sorry. Run to Julio Jones on 3rd and 3. A run call by the defense. It was a short pass to Julio Jones on 3rd and 3, and even right, wrong, or double, that's a completion. It could have been a sack chance, guessed right, if he would have had the right matchup, but it's first down, and the Jets are now in Packers territory. It would have been a disaster to have to punt back to them on 4th and 3. So big pickup there. Tom loves facing a 4-3 defense because he can shoot the flats quite a bit, but he knows he has to throw it at all 3 levels. Screen right to Ryan Matthews. There is a white die 6, and that takes the ball down to the 34-yard line of the pack. There was a sack opportunity there. Stephon Tuitt 7, with 2 additional linebackers coming against the Juwan James 5. But on a flat pass, it wasn't going to get it done. Slant, Kobe Fleener. Oh, it's a dump off for 27 yards on Ryan Matthews' card. Look at that card. That's not just pretty nice yardage there. Guessed right, and it hit exactly what he needed. Now it's down to the Green Bay 7. Guessed wrong's pretty good too. Not quite maxed out because there's incompletions on 2 and 4, but not too shabby. Ryan Matthews stays in the game. This is his drive. 10-16 now for Luck as the pace is picking up a bit. 4:12 to go in the half. Down and out to Ryan Matthews. It's an interception. Guessed right on Andrew Luck's card. Oh my. That's, Ron says that just comes in handy. Perfect timing. As like I said, turnovers and big plays it's gonna tell the tale in this one. Oof, that's a big play there. 3:54 to go in the half. Packers get the ball back off tackle left to Hyde. It's a run call. All the pieces stay in place. 2nd and 8. $3:18 to go in the half. Ron would like to drive this down, get a field goal, and then get the ball back. That would be huge. Pitch out right to Carlos Hyde. There's a linebacker there, but it's guessed wrong. 6-yard pickup. That'll set up 3rd and 2. 2:42 to go in the half. Even just not giving up points to the Jets on that one was huge. Third and 2. 2 tight end against 3-4. Off tackle right to Hyde. Nobody there, but it's a guessed right on the halfback card. Loses the yard, and that'll force the Packers to punt. Nice stop there. Fourth and 3. Packers send out Tress Way to boot the ball. 44-yard kick. So he called run, and he flooded the flats. It's a nice strategy. Tom decides not to try to return the punt, thinking that there's some bad mojo in the air. Tom says, oh my. Why did he say, oh my? Oh, it was a forced punt die, so he had no choice. I don't know, maybe it showed up differently on their screens, but for me, it was just, it was like Tom didn't return it. Yeah, did he punt return? No. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 41. Oh, wait a minute. What happened there? That is really strange. I must have missed something because it was the punt on my screen says 44 yards, but suddenly Tom has the ball in Green Bay territory. So for his on his screen, it must have been returned. I do see the forced punt die. Let's look at the box score. Second and 7 now. The three-yard pickup guessed right. Let's see what the punt return here says, because they'll be based off the quarterback. See, so it doesn't have Jets with a punt return. Strange. 2nd and 7. Jets down to the Green Bay 38. Quick out right to Kobe Fleener. It's going to be incomplete as the linebacker, Rob Ninkovich, makes the play with his 4 rating against the White Die 4. Third and 7. Well, we talked earlier about the Janikowski's range is like 2 through 6 after the 39. So it'll be interesting if Tom tries a field goal here if he doesn't get any more yards. Tom decides to go Ryan Matthews, 2 tight end set. Ron brings in Yannick Ngakoue and Trent Murphy, but he does not bring in Ninkovich over here on the right end. So look for maybe Murphy to come down and the free safety to go cover it. So there'll be 3 5-rated pass defenders on the flats with some extra pass rush in case he decides to throw short. Or he might use the free safety to double Julio Jones, who's far and away the leading receiver for the Jets. Pitch out left to Ryan Matthews. Defensive end 11 or plus 47. It's Stephon Tuitt. If he had gone the other side, he was expecting Murphy to drop down just like I was. Instead, the free safety was doubling Allen Robinson, and there was nobody in the zone. That would have been a touchdown if he had run the other way, because it would have been a 47-yard pickup. Ryan Matthews, what is his max run? His longest rush would have been 30 yards. It wouldn't have been a touchdown, but it would have been first and goal at the 9 after the 30 yard, or at the 8. Excuse me. First and 10 down to the 27. Timeouts is not an issue. End run right to Andrew Luck. There's one of his 2 end runs he can have each game. It's only going to pick up 5 yards because it was on the D card. Second and 5. Ryan Matthews stays in there. Fly to Julio Jones, guest right, covered by 5. Dump off for 6 yards. So Tom's got to feel great. He was about to tie the game up, threw a pick in the end zone. The Packers got the ball back and had like over a 50% chance of getting a first down on 3rd and 2. on a Carlos Hyde run, guess right, but he missed it, forced the punt, and we didn't see the return, but it obviously got them into Green Bay territory. 52 seconds left, and now Tom's been able to drive it inside the 20. Still has 2 timeouts left. Pitch out left to Ryan Matthews. Short gain, 15 yards, and it's going to go down to the 1. 45 seconds left. Tom wishes he wouldn't have been able to get out of bounds now. Inside run to Frank Orr. Guessed right, 1-yard pickup, and it's touchdown. And now the Jets are an extra point away from tying it. It's up and good. 30 seconds left in the half, and we missed the kickoff again. It's out to the 25. Must have been a touchback. And it's 1st and 10 at the 25. I don't think you'll see a bomb here or anything like that. He'll just maybe try to run to the outside, hit one of these edge numbers, 25 or 24 yards. That'll get you to midfield. Tom might know that and call run too. And again, the pace is slow, so it's got to be patient here. Quarterback sneak to Tannehill. Interesting call. And he picks up 12 yards. Look at Tannehill. So now Ron will use a timeout. Tom went 3-3-5. Ron responded with a sneak to Tannehill. Didn't want to waste a carry to Hyde, but in case he got a good result on the D card, which is what happened with LaTroy Guion's 5 getting beat by White Die 6. Now we're in business here. Now he might be willing to risk a take. Tom sticks with the 3-3-5. So White Die 6s has helped the Packers for the most part. But it's still a tie game as these two juggernauts go at it. Pitch out right to Hyde. There's a linebacker there, and that stuffs it for a 1-yard loss. And so it'll be 2nd and 11, 15 seconds to go. It wouldn't have been an impactful play even if the linebacker wasn't there. Second and 11, 15 seconds left. Man, this is such a slow pace. But both these guys don't want to make a mistake. Slant to Hunter Henry. Receiver reading picks up 13, and he gets out of bounds. Although it didn't matter because Green Bay has 2 timeouts left. They would have had used one there anyway, and they still would have had one in the pocket for the next play. So here we go, inching forward again. And another full minute or two to make a call here. Ron looking to find that magic elixir. Crossing path to Rashard Matthews, and there's a sack, and that'll make it 1 second to go. Maybe we'll get a last-minute bomb. Darian Stewart came on the blitz. Carlos Hyde couldn't handle it. The Pack do call the timeout. Second and 14, 1 second to go. Green Bay needs 55 yards to get in the end zone. Guys, come on. Make a play. Square into Mike Wallace. 13-yard pickup, and that'll be the end of the half. So Tannehill ends up 11 for 18 for 190 yards and a touchdown. That's about as good as you can expect for that card. He's had some white die sixes that helped him out. Probably going to get a little bit of a break here at halftime, but we've taken about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 25 minutes, something like that, since we started broadcasting. Ron asked for 2 minutes. See, we're supposed to kick off at 9:25. Ron's plumbing issue pushed it back to 10 o'clock. Tom's nursing visit, I think the kickoff is about 10:10. So about an hour and 15 minutes for a half of Strat football. So maybe the second half will be just an hour long. So 2 minutes, guys. We'll just hang out here, take a look at the stats. But we had the big turnover, the interception in the end zone by the Packers. Offenses have moved the ball really well. The Packers went touchdown, field goal, touchdown, punt, and then end of half. That 30-second drive was about 5 or 6 minutes of action in real time, maybe longer. The Jets have gone punt, touchdown, field goal, interception, and touchdown. So we see the drive lengths. Jets drives have all been 6 plays or longer, including that 12-play, 78-yard drive. The Packers drives have gone 9 plays, 8 plays, 10 plays, and then the last 2 have kind of short-circuited a little bit. Although that last one was well on its way if he would have had more time. Tom says he's feeling pretty good right now. He should be. He's overcome some obstacles. But Ron's got to be feeling pretty good too. He's up against the number 1 seed and it's tied, and he's going to get the ball first. So should be a good second half. I'm going to ask Tom here what happened on that last punt play. Where we at? SOMIFA. I wonder if we exit and reconnect it, because look at the box score. Let's see if that punt return's there. See, there's no Jet punt return. I fumbled their punt. My guy recovered. I tried to advance the ball and got like 32-yard long gain. It was a forced punt guy that was picked up. Let me exit. I wonder if it'll show up on the box score right now. Here we go. The kick is 9 yards deep. Anthony Thomas is going to take a knee. I can almost guarantee that. Let's check the box score when he does take a knee. So, reports, box score. So there it is. Tyler Ervin, 32-yard advance on the fumbled punt return. So the punt return shows up now. It shows up, but as a 1 return for -2 yards and the fumble. Tommy Lee Lewis fumbled it, but Tyler Ervin picked it up and ran it forward. Pretty cool. Slant to Zach Miller, single covered by a 5. As the Packers get the ball first, and it's an 11-yard pickup. So Tannehill's really having a really nice game. You wouldn't expect that. But Ron's done a good job of mixing up his strengths, which is the flat pass, not being afraid to throw short, for hoping for dump offs or completions on the card, and also airing it out. So we've seen those flat pass benefit from the white die 6s. Here's a run call, curl to Mike Evans. It's going to be guessed wrong. Could be a big receiver reading. Evans is maxed out short. And it's the Tannehill's card again. So Tannehill, he's been able to get Tom to call run because of the threat of Carlos Hyde, and that's resulted in some nicer numbers than you'd expect from Ryan Tannehill. The ball's close to midfield. Check the broadcast. Are we doing good? Seems to be. 1st and 10. Out to the Packer 49. Curl to Evans. Guarded by a 4. Guessed right. And there's an incomplete on Tannehill's guard. A run call there would have been a big play for the Packers and another first down in all likelihood. Chris Thompson checks in the game. He's got great off tackle and end run cards. Guessed wrong, but guessed right. He doesn't do much. Or like Ryan Matthews, we saw gets positive yardage a lot. Chris Thompson, not quite as effective. Guessed right. Curl to Mike Evans. 4-minute zone. Guessed right. Some extra pressure coming from the Jets. Incomplete on the receiver reading of Mike Evans. He's also a receiver that has completions on double teams. But that was just a missed opportunity there. Chris Thompson stays in the game as it looks like Ron is going to stay in the 2 tight end set with Chris Thompson. Okay, 3rd and 10. Third down, 10 yards to go. Ball near midfield. Again, I don't know if this is Tom taking a long time to set up his defense, check his spreadsheets, or if it's Ron not calling the play quickly enough. Slant to Zach Miller. 4-minute zone, guessed right. Covered by a 5. Must run for 1 yard, and it'll be 4th and 9, and the Packers will punt. The Jets will take over after that coffin corner punt at their own 13. Three-yard run, defensive end, -2 or +3. Yannick Ngakoue can't make the play, but it only goes for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Off tackle left to Ryan Matthews. Guessed wrong, but it's on the D card. Offensive onside tackle +8 or +3. Another 3-yard pickup as Juwan James can't make the play. 11:06 to go in the third quarter. It's interesting because in a lot of strat games, you see like we saw a lot of scoring in the first half, and then suddenly the third quarter turns into a punt fest as each team adjusts to the other's offensive calls, and they wind up punting the ball back and forth until somebody inches ahead in the fourth. Third down, 4 yards to go. 11:06 to go in the quarter. Big third down conversion attempt here. Ryan Matthews in the backfield. Square out pass to Julio Jones. Guessed right. 4 yards exactly. That's a huge first down. Guessed right on the quarterback's card, and there was a man there, a 5 linebacker there. So they move the chains. 2 runs guessed wrong for 3 yards, and a flat pass guessed right for 4. Freeman back in there. Inside run to Devonta Freeman. Both outside linebackers outside receivers were being doubled. Offensive left guard +6 or +1, and that's David DeCastro, he was a 6'7", so he's gonna make every play ask of him. Second and 4. Inside run to Ryan Matthews. It's a run call. Defensive right tackle -1 or +9, and that's Aubrey Jones. He makes the play, and that sets up containment at 3rd and 5. Big stop there for the defensive tackle. Third and 5. They go 3 wide. Dorsett comes in as a 3rd wide receiver, and Freeman's in the backfield. Inside run to Freeman. Ooh, it hits the boxcars on an 8 roll. Not boxcars, hits the boxes on an 8 roll. +7 turns into +17, and that's a first down. Quick out right to Kobe Fleener. Dorsett's being double teamed. Receiver reading for 15 yards. Ooh, my goodness, we're almost in field goal range now as the Jets are rolling. First and 10 at the 40. 17-yard pickup again, inside run to Freeman. Freeman is having a big impact here on this drive. Curler Julio Jones, pass, 3-minute zone, defender X, makes the play, does him on true font. Second and 10 is a 23. Well in 2 through 10 field goal range. Pitch out left to Ryan Matthews against the run call, and that goes nowhere. Look at that Matthews card, though. There's no big negative numbers in the middle of the card. -2 on 6, but the -4 and the -6 are down there at the bottom on 10 and 12. So you can run guess, and not even in a guess right situation, and you still have, see, 6, 11, 14, 15, 16, 19 chances to get a yard or more. Guess right. 3rd and 10. Devonta Freeman comes in. Still goes to tight end. Ron decides to respond with a 4-3, not replacing Ninkovich with Murphy, but Ngakoue coming in. He likes that matchup of Ngakoue against Riley Reef. And why wouldn't you? 9 against a 4. Slant to Fleener. Covered by a 5. Receiver reading. Picks up 12. Another huge 3rd down pickup. As the Jets put together another effective drive. And are 11 yards away from taking a touchdown lead. Screen right to Ryan Matthews. Forward linebacker there. Guessed right. He's got some good yardage there, even guessed right. He's got 10-plus yards on quite a few numbers there. Linebacker in zone +1 or +6. Picks up 6, 2nd and 4 at the Green Bay 5. Can pick up a first down here without picking up a touchdown. Freeman checks in. Pitch out left to Freeman. Guess wrong. Offensive onside guard +8 or +3. And who's that man? Is that David DeCastro again? Yes, it is. His 6 run blocking against the 6 wide die gets that into the end zone, and it is 24-17 as Janikowski nails it. He's only misses on 11. And again, we missed the kickoff return. It's 25-yard, either exactly 25-yard return or more likely a touchback. 24-17. Screen right to Carlos Hyde. It's a run call on defense, and it picks up 11. So Ron's not one to panic. He's been down this road before. It's not his first rodeo. And trailing 24-17, he's going to try to put together a drive to answer. All you want to do when you're the lower seed, quick out left to Hunter Henry, guessed right, 5 linebacker there, is just keep it close and try to win it in the 4th quarter. And if we can put together a drive that results in points, it'll be a single-score game headed into the 4th quarter. What you don't want to do is turn it over, give it back to the Jets so they can open up a 2-score lead. 2nd and 10. Green Bay at their own 36. Crossing pattern to Kenny Britt. Covered by a 6. 4-minute zone. And Tannehill's car is not that great. It's a receiver reading. And, oh, man, box cars would have been a long gain. Instead, it was the other result that has a small chance of happening, 2 out of 36. Or sorry, 1 out of 36, and that is Snake Eyes, incomplete. So one of these two, boxcars or Snake Eyes, if one of those would have came up, that would have been, if you would have got boxcars on the equally unlikely 12 instead of the equally unlikely 2, you would have had a big play there. 3rd and 10. Third quarter. Jets leading 24-17. This is a huge third down conversion for the Packers. We saw the Jets convert 2 or 3 times on their last drive on third down. Crossing pattern again to Britt. Single cover by a 6. Looking for another receiver reading and hoping for a better result. It's Defender X, though, and that is not going to happen, as Malcolm Butler says. This is a no-fly zone. This is a shutdown corner time, and it was a white die 6. So any other receiver would have been a first down, except for the one that was double teamed. And the punt goes, well, that works in the Packers' favor. It rolls for 50-yard punt, rolls 7 yards down to the 7, and the Jets will take over there. Leading by 7, 3:18 to go in the quarter. Curl to Julio Jones, single covered. Dump off for 7 yards to Kobe Fleener. Or was that Zach Ertz? I think it was Ertz. Fleener was being double teamed. Yeah, so Ertz gets his first catch of the day. He's the only receiver that's guarded by a 6. Packers have a 6 strong safety. So he's been shutting down Ertz the whole game. Yannick Ngakoue's pass rush matchup came into play against Riley Reef on that play, and there was a 48% chance of a sack, but it was a random roll 81. And that 6th rated strong safety is Landon Collins. So 2nd and 3. Fly to Julio Jones, pass rush coming. It's a receiver reading incomplete. There's no sack chance, but the Packers had brought in extra linebackers to the line of scrimmage, maybe more looking to stuff the run, but they did call pass. And we got 3rd and 3 now. The Jets don't want to punt it right back after, being pinned deep in their own end. Luck so far, 16 to 26 for 184. Bomb to Allen Robinson being double covered. That would have been a receiver reading if it would have gone to one of the other receivers deep. So they will have to punt. Good stand by the Pack. Ron's a great defensive coach. And depending on the punt here and the return, nice punt, 57 yards. Let's see what happens with the return. And he lets it roll. Does not want to return the punt. Interesting. We have some superstitions here, or maybe Green Bay just knows that there's not much to be gained. Let's look at their punt return card. They got a 73 on 2 and a 12 on 9, so it's got a decent returner. And the Jets, let's look at their punt return against. 2, 4, and 5. You're not getting much there. But anyway, they'll take over down a single score at their own 26. Screen left to hide against a run call. There's a 5 linebacker there. And it picks up 9. That'll bring up 2nd and 1. So that's where Tannehill likes to work in the flats. Flats get strong. That's his strong suit. Off tackle left. Guess strong. Nobody's in the zone. Picks up 9. Another white die 6 beating Chris Baker. 2nd and 9 after the 44. 36 to go in the third quarter. 15 minutes to decide who will advance to the semifinals, along with Nathan and his Atlanta Falcons. Fly to Mike Evans, covered by a 4, 0-minute zone. No extra pass procedure as the inside line. Oh, it's a long gain, 84 yards. That's a touchdown. So Ron revs it up, fires it deep, hits the 9 again. Second time he's hit the 9. And Tannehill's on fire. Another big play, and that's going to cut it. I was going to say cut it to a point if Myers misses the extra point, but he nails it and is tied up. 24-24. Kick goes 8 yards deep. I don't think even Wendell Smallwood will take that out. Tom doesn't want to get pinned deep in his own end. Take a knee, I think. And we might be locked. That will happen sometimes. So let's get back in there. Jay's joined us. Hi, Jay. Nathan and Jay are there. So we're getting back in there, and looks like we missed a 7-yard run or pass and with the last play of the third quarter. 2nd and 3 for the Jets in a tie game in the fourth quarter against 2 really good coaches. The matchups turned out really nice. The pace is picked up in the third quarter. It was a nice pace, so we can keep it rolling in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 3. Pitch out left to Ryan Matthews. Ron covering Dorsett. And it goes for 9 yards as Kobe Fleener's 4 run block rating makes the play against the White Die 4. Ryan Matthews so far, 9 for 41. Remember, Luck has one more end run that he can pull out of his bag, although it looks like Tom's going 3 wide here. He won't dare risk an end run with Luck. That 3 wide brings in Ngakoue in place of Lawrence Guy. Bomb to Philip Dorsett, covered by a 4, incomplete. Tom's going, where's my 9 roll? Why can't I roll a 9? Well, just didn't happen. 2nd and 10 out to the 41. Matthews has 8 unfatigued carries left. You know, you want to use those backs. Maybe run the ball a little bit. Although Ron's defensive line, look at that, 5'5", 6'5". So he's got really good run defenders on the line. One of them, just Gerald McCoy, he's got that 6'9". That's really nice to be able to have in the interior of your line. Matched up against Jeff Allen in pass rush situations. 2nd and 10. Matthews stays in the game. Ron brings in the Ngakoue-Murphy combo and shifts Ninkovich to replace the 5-3 over there. Screen right to Ryan Matthews. There was a forward linebacker there, and the receiver reading of +8 makes it a 3rd down and 2. 13:30 to go. In no way are you in 4-down territory yet. And with that defensive line, I don't think you'll see Tom go for it if he doesn't get any yards here on 3rd and 2. Ron's coaching a solid game here. He's got a lead against the number 1. Not a lead. He's tied it up against the number 1 seed. And Tom is looking to retake the lead. Blocking back halfback set with David Johnson, the tight end, checking in as a 4-3. Pitch out left to Ryan Matthews. Nobody's in the zone. 5 rated defensive in there. That picks up 6 yards. And it's 1st down and 10 at the 45. We saw on a previous drive when Tom took the lead, he went 3 wide, ran some line bucks with Freeman to great effect. Now he's going 3 wide again, it looks like. Will we see Freeman on a line buck? Will Ron call run? And will Tom, anticipating that, try to go up top with a long pass to Robinson or Dorsett? It's an inside run to Freeman. He does try to run again. And the defensive right tackle, -1 or +9, Gerald McCoy makes a play. Makes him lose a yard. So 2nd and 11. Ryan Matthews back in the game. Tom's 1 first down away from being in field goal range. Ron would like to stop him here. Ngakoue Murphy combo in. This time Stephon Tuitt stays in the game. 5'4", not a 5'3". Chris Baker's a 5'3". That's Tom's guy. Pitch out right to Ryan Matthews. Going at that 0. Picks up 6 yards. Just outside Janikowski field goal range. So 3rd and 5. Containment in effect. Some really nice drives these guys are putting together. It slowed down somewhat in the 3rd quarter. They both just got a single touchdown, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens the rest of the way. Off tackle left to Ryan Matthews, offensive onside end +7 or +3, and again Kobe Fleener's 4 comes into play and he makes the block. We've seen Ron benefit from the white die 6 quite a bit, and Tom the last couple of plays from the 4 rated run block Kobe Fleener, he's gotten it. So 1st and 10 down to the Green Bay 33. I don't think you'll see it here, but Luck does have that 1 end run left. I think you'll see that when Tom's on his own side of the field. And there's a higher chance of facing a pass call on a 1st down. Quick slant to Fleener. Receiver reading incomplete. 2nd and 10. Ryan Matthews back in the game. 4-3 up against the 2 tight end set. Fly to Julio Jones, double cover. Looks like by a linebacker. Oh, it's picked off. Oh, my stars and garters. The 2nd time today that Luck's been picked off inside the 10. This time it's returned 15 yards, and the Packers will take over at the 30. Tom was in field goal range. He decides to go big or go home, and, well, I'm not saying he's going home, but that was a huge play. I mean, we saw Ron's hit several bombs today. Tom's just not had that same kind of luck on deep passes. Pitch out left to Carlos Hyde. There's nobody there. Guessed wrong. Picks up 5. See, that you're kind of like walking through a minefield in Strat. That's the interception split for Tannehill, but he was running that play. If he had been passing it, maybe he would have hit one of those 2 through 8s or 2 through 7 guessed right interceptions on a short pass. Quick out left to Hunter Henry. There's a linebacker there, but it's guessed wrong this time. 2nd and 5, defender +1 or +3, and Mark Barron is a 5. Matches the 5 roll. Brings up 3rd and 4. Last time when Tom turned the ball over, he was able to force a punt, get the ball back, and continue on picking up points. I believe he got a touchdown on that drive, but we can check that out. 3rd and 4. Carlos Hyde's in the game in the 2 tight end set. So when when Green Bay got the ball in the interception, they had to punt, and that's when Tom got the ball back and advanced that muffed punt with the drive, 7-play drive, 41 yards, ending in a touchdown. So can he do the same thing here? Can he rebound from giving up the pick and forcing a punt with a run call against a curl to Mike Evans? That's a 15-yard pickup. He's not going to force a punt on this play. And that would have been a dump off, guessed right, because that would have been incomplete on the quarterback's card. But there was a D on the black die, and that would have been a dump off. Probably a first down no matter what you do. Hard to say for sure. But Tannehill's over 300 yards now, 18 of 30 for 306 and 2 touchdowns. Screen right to Hyde, 2-minute zone against the run call. One of those classic my card, your card situations, and it goes on the offensive card. Again, we said Tannehill's at his best when he's throwing flat, guessed wrong. And now 8:06 to go in the game. The Packers are at midfield looking to take the lead and put more pressure. You know, the later you get in a game you feel like you should be winning. You know, Tom thinks he should be winning this one. He's the number 1 seed. Just the pressure builds up. You feel, oh my God, what am I doing? What's going on here? And then on the other side, when you got nothing to lose, you're like, run, throwing bombs, connecting. If you have a lead with 5 minutes to go in the game, you're like, wow, I'm loving life. Off tackle left to Hyde, offensive onside again, guard +7 or +2. Alex Boone doesn't make the block. 2nd and 8. 7:30 to go in the game. Of course, this is as it gets tougher and tougher for each side to advance the ball. (24-24). SOMIFA quarterfinal playoff game. The Pack against the Jets. The Pack is back. Jets, Jets. 2nd and 8. Carlos Hyde in the game. Ron with all those offensive weapons. Quick slant to Hunter Henry. Single covered. 5 linebacker in the zone, 5 defender. It's a white die 6 first down as the Packers get closer to field goal range. 1st and 10 at the Jets 39. Oh my. If Tom loses this game, he'll remember all those white die 6s and the long passes. If the Packers lose this game, they'll remember a Wendell Smallwood kick return touchdown on the muffed punt, advance 30 yards. Quick out left to Zach Miller. It's an interception. Picked off. There was a man there, picked off on a flat pass, and he returns it 25 yards and fumbles it, and the Packers have the ball back. Are you kidding me? Sorry, he returns it 22 yards. So this play had everything. You had a guessed right, interception, 1 man in zone, 2 through 5, 11 and 12. Remember, Tom's got the good pass defensive cards. If that was the average pass defense cards, that would not have been a pick. He benefited from that. He advanced at 22 yards. You've got to advance a flat pass interception because you have the extra chances for a touchdown on 5 and 9, I think. Off tackle right to Carlos Hyde. And then when he ran it back, the ball was stripped out and the Packers got it back. And now on 1st down, you had a guessed wrong run, short gain by Carlos Hyde. He's nearing 100 yards. That was a 19-yard pickup, 16 runs for 94 yards for Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll's nowhere to be seen. So it's 1st and 10 at the 41. 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Jeez Louise. What some amazing back and forth stuff here. Off tackle right to Carlos Hyde. Nose tackle, +9 or +4. It's a fumble. Who's got it? The Packers or the Jets? I can't tell. The animation seems to make it look like it's the Packers. And yes, it's Steven Wisniewski, ex-Raider. Now, believe he's on the Eagles in the NFL. He scoops the ball up, falls on it, does not try to advance. Advance, no. And he's the second. I think it's the second time he's recovered a fumble. He is with the Eagles in the NFL. He'll be playing in the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. Hyde had a 17 out of 1,000, 17.9 out of 1,000 chance of fumbling the ball. And that was a 17 random number. Quarterback sneak to Tannehill, run with 2 men in zone. No gain, 3rd and 1. Packers are in field goal range, but they're at the edge. Let's look at their kicker. The old Jason Myers. I think he's like 2 through 9. Yeah, 2 through 9 and 12 from 23 to 32. 2 through 7 and 12, 33 to 39. So he's only missing the 8 and the 9 if he gets the variable that pushes it back. Ron is probably going to play it close to the vest here and kick a field goal if he doesn't convert this. I would be very surprised to see him go for it on 4th down. Playoff game, under 5 minutes to go, you want that lead no matter what. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, you'll take either one right now. 24-24. This is an instant classic, folks. Who's going to get the next big break? Quarterback sneak to Tannehill. It's a pass call, but there's a man there in the zone. And nose tackle +1 or +6. Troy Guion makes the play, holds it to a 1-yard gain. So it would have had to been, he brought in his, I wish I could go back and see that, but I brought in a 4 linebacker there, probably a 4-6, replacing Deion Jones as 5'4". The white die was a 5. Off tackle left to Carlos Hyde. There is a linebacker in the zone there, offensive onside tackle +6 or +1. So let's take a look at Tom's computer manager real quick. Yeah, so he has a backup 4-5. So he brought in Shazier. Shazier would have made the play if there was 2 men in zone. On 1 man in zone, it was still going to be +1. But if he had 2 men in zone, Shazier could have made the play. Double teaming Mike Evans is a free safety. It's a dump off for 7 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. The clock keeps ticking. 3 minutes to go. Are we going to get hit by the Jay reported recently on the forum, the 3-minute bug, where the timing gets off? One computer, it says 3 minutes. The other one says 2:24. It doesn't look like we're going to disconnect. We're in good shape. Tannehill up to 333 yards. 3rd and 2. 3 minutes to go. Tom desperately wants to hold him to a field goal here, or a field goal attempt. He'd love to see a missed field goal, but at least a field goal attempt, and get the ball back with a chance to win the game with a touchdown. Carlos Hyde, off tackle right, guessed wrong. Free safety doubling the tight end. Offensive onside guard +7 or +2. He gets 2, and that just eats more clock up. You know what Ron would like? He'd like to use up the rest of this clock and kick a field goal as time expires. That probably won't happen because Tom's still got 3 timeouts left. But, Ron would also take driving it in from the 21. 2:24 to go in the game. No 3-minute bug. 19 runs for 106 yards for Carlos Hyde. Tom would love to get a turnover here. That would be ideal. A turnover on a flat pass, a Carlos Hyde fumble, pitch out left to Hyde. Nobody's there, guessed wrong. 5 defensive end. Offensive onside tackle +5 or +0. And Lane Johnson, his 5-run rating makes the play. This is going to take it down to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 5. Sometimes you just feel helpless. You can't do anything to stop this. 20 runs today for 111 yards. 2 unfatigued carries left for Hyde. Tannehill's got a nice end run card. I don't think we've seen that yet, or maybe he doesn't this year. Yeah, not quite as effective. He's got a little bit, but he's got a lot of negatives. In the past, he's had those short gains in the middle like Luck has this year. Not in this set. Button hook to Hyde. Guessed wrong. Only 1 linebacker there. He's a 5. and it's going to be an 11-yard pickup. That's going to take it down to the 5-yard line. The Jets will call timeout. 1:52 to go. They want the ball with a chance to tie, at least, with a field goal if they can help it. If not, they'll take their chances on scoring a touchdown. Both these coaches have coached fantastic games. It's just the big breaks, the long passes to Tannehill's hit twice on 9, once on Snake Eyes, and 2 or 3 30-yard white die 6 rolls. That's really accounted for a big portion of yards you might not normally see from Ryan Tannehill. Peyton Barber checks in the full house along with Jalston Fowler. Ron's going to try to pound this in with Hyde, or mix it up and run it with Barber, or run sneaks with Tannehill. We've seen him do that from the 3-yard line. Will he do it from the 5-yard line? Will Tom go with a straight run caller? Will he key? Off tackle left to Peyton Barber. He's being keyed. Nice call there by Tom. Loses 2 yards. You think he might call Carlos Hyde because he has all the guess right stuff. That would have been a touchdown guess wrong if he had keyed one of the other backs. Instead, it's a loss of 2, and now Tom's feeling a little bit better. Hold him to a field goal. Will Ron risk a throw here? Remember, Tom's got the good pass defensive cards. You roll a 9 with 4-minute zone. That could be juicy. That could add to the drama of this game. 2nd and goal at the 7. 1:45 to go in the game. 1:45 to go in regulation, folks. This could easily go into overtime. Pitch out left. There's a linebacker there, but it's a pass call. My card, your card. It's a 6-yard pickup. Oh, my stars and garters. 3rd and goal at the 1. The Jets will use their last timeout. They need a perfect call here on 3rd down to force a field goal. A run call there would have gained 3, and that would have been a little bit more manageable. 3rd and goal at the 1. Remember, Tom still's using the average run card, so you're going to see another run here. He doesn't use a timeout here. Takes it down to 1:15. So no matter what happens here, he should get the ball back with about 1 minute, maybe 52 seconds left. I'm not sure exactly how this timing will work on the field goal. Or on the touchdown? Does it take a tick off or 2 ticks? Will it take a tick off or 2 ticks on a field goal try? I think it's just going to take a tick off. 1st and goal at the 1. You have Tannehill and Hyde as running threats. He doesn't go full house to get the linebacker boost. Does that make you think he might want to throw the ball? If he does that and it's incomplete, he leaves the Jets with an extra timeout. If he pounds it in, he suddenly is looking very strong to advance with a 7-point lead. Although you got to watch that kickoff to Wendell Smallwood. He could easily return another one for a touchdown. Louise, this is fun stuff, guys. Pitch out left to Carlos Hyde. It's the right call, but he's not plugging that zone. Defensive end has to make the play, and he does. Chris Baker, the touchdown stopping maker. Chris Baker, the negative tackles for loss maker. There you go. Chris Baker, the TFL maker, makes the play, forces a field goal, and it's up and good. So what a stand from the 1-yard line. The Jets will get the ball back, only down 3. He kicks it away. Smallwood returns it to the 32. So you need about 30 yards here to get in Janikowski's range. 52 seconds left, no timeouts. Ryan Matthews, are you coming in the game, or is it going to be Devonta Freeman? If he goes Matthews, he might mix in the end runs. But if those get tackled in bounds, it takes a lot of time off the clock. If he goes Freeman, he might be throwing it a little bit more. So that'll be a tip-off right off the bat. Ooh, we got ourselves a good one here, folks. Let's look at the SOMIFA regular season stuff. This is a 9-17 who's already won 2 games. They didn't have any layoff. They have not shaken. The rust has not been shaken off, or they haven't needed to shake off the rust because they've played 2 games since the 9-7. They're now 11-7 as they won a mini playoff game, and then they won the wild card round game. So they're up to 11 wins. The Jets have only lost 3 times all year. Will this be the 4th? They're up against it here. 52 seconds left. I just want to make sure I'm not like. Yeah, I think they're just taking their time. I would hate to miss it because we weren't connected and we didn't realize it. Tom's gathering his ideas, looking at his spreadsheets. Ron goes to the 3-3-5 with Ngakoue. He does stay with Freeman. And it was 52 seconds left. It does take 2 ticks off for the field goal or the touchdown. Post to Kobe Fleener, covered by a 6, looking for a dump off. He got the dump off, but it went on the offensive cards. 45 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Freeman. He does have some pretty massive hits on the edges. If you roll an 11 or 12, you could win the game with that. But I don't think Tom's going to chance that. He's looking to get some help from his offensive lineman to force a dump off and get him up the field. 45 seconds to go. He does go with that in run right. It's a 2 tight end set, but it goes on the D card. Second time he's had this end run. Both times have been on the D card. One picked up 5, one picked up 2. Those were not the rolls that Tom was looking for. Now he did get out of bounds, though. Remember, you get out of bounds on a white die 2, 4, 6. So he got out of bounds, and it's 3rd and 8. Need a big play here. "37 seconds. Crossing pattern to Philip Dorsett, covered by a 4, incomplete. On boxcars. No, please don't tell me that 12 was a long gain on Luck's card on a long pass right there. Nope, incomplete still. So no harm, no foul. But if he had run it, still wouldn't have been good on Devonta Freeman's card because, first of all, he's in a shotgun. Second of all, it was a white die 1, so it would have been guessed right. 4th and 8. This is it, folks. Do or die. This is not the way Tom wanted his season to end. This is exactly the way Ron wanted to get his revenge for all those past IFL losses that he suffered at the hands of Tom Cook. But he's not dead yet. Cook still has one shot here to extend the drive. He needs to get a first down and get out of bounds. Will he go deep? It's the Ngakoue-Murphy tandem. They're going to be opening for Fishbone at the Pantages. 4th and 8. How about a flat pass and a white die 6 for 30 yards? Wouldn't that come in handy right now? Screen right to Freeman. He does go flat, and there's nobody there. It's a 10-yard pickup, so he lives to fight another day. 22 seconds left. Didn't get the 30 yards that I said would have come in handy, but he did get a first down. So 1st and 10 at the 44. 22 seconds left, no timeouts. You're still about 20 yards away from a desperation field goal. So we go from the 44 up to the 46, from the 46 up to the 36. So you need 20 yards. You can get 20 yards on a flat pass. You can get 20 yards on an end run. Why isn't Matthews in the game? Ryan Matthews. He sticks with Devonta Freeman, who does have a 35-yard long on a flat pass if he throws to throw the jump off. He goes end run right. There's a 0-rated linebacker there, or defensive end. It's going to be guessed wrong. Defensive end +1 and +5. And he does not get out of bounds. That's the problem with running it. An edge number there would have been huge, as he would have gotten into range, at least long field goal range. He's going to have to spike it. 8 seconds left. Third down now. Containment's in effect. You can't run. You still need 15 yards, or at least one more completion. Janikowski's good out to the 39. So if you get like a 15-yard completion, go to Julio. Even if he's doubled, you still have a chance. Let's look at the Jets field goal card. 2 through 6, better than nothing out to 39. You need 12 yards to get there. A short pass, you don't get out of bounds on a long pass. So forget the long pass now. Just go short and get out of bounds. All these guys can go the distance, though. Oh, no. Robinson cannot. So if you connect on a long pass with Robinson, he would fall short. Jones and Dorsett can. Ertz, how about you, buddy? Nope, he only goes 30. So you're not going to get a deep pass to Ertz or Robinson. We know that Freeman's long is 35. So none of these guys on the right side can go the distance from here. These two guys can. So what do you do if you're Green Bay? Do you double both of these guys? Leave these guys open? Will we see another flat pass to Freeman? I hope he gets out of bounds. Anything tackled in bounds now ends the game. And you only get out of bounds on a 2, 4, or 6 on the white die. Braun goes 3-2-6, knowing that he can't throw a looking pass because you get tackled in bounds. You can't get out of bounds from when you throw a looking pass. So I think he's gonna throw short here. Ron's gonna double 2 of these guys, probably Jones and Dorsett. And he's probably gonna leave Ninkovich and Bradham home. So look for a flat pass to Freeman, hoping he moves him. Or it's a slant to Ertz. He needs to get out of bounds. He needs to complete and get out of bounds. 15 yards. Does he get out of bounds? Does he get out of bounds? He does. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Only out of bounds on a 2, 4, or 6. On the quarterback's card, you only get out of bounds 1 out of 3 chances. So I had a 33% chance of getting out of bounds, but guess what? He did. Now Janikowski needs to nail a 2 through 6 field goal. At least Tom's given himself a chance to go to overtime. And if he gets the -4 adjustment or a -5 adjustment, it suddenly turns into a 2 through 10 field goal. Great game, Tom. Got to run. Work called me in. I don't know what Ron's saying, but the game isn't over. Ron says the game's over. Sorry, folks. So you saw the broadcast. It's clearly 1 second left. That last play took place with 8 seconds left, and he got out of bounds. Well, I don't know. I should be butting in here, but it clearly says 1 second left on my side. This is the end of the game bug, Strat, where you get one side gets off. We have controversy. Okay, so we're gonna see what we're gonna see. You hate to see a playoff game decided like this. Ooh-wee. My goodness. It'll be interesting, though, because if the game ended on Ron's side, he'll try to join, and I don't know if it'll work. I might have to use my save or somebody else's save. Let's just see what happens here. Pretty cool. Pretty fun way to end the game. 61664. So let me email this to. So I'm going to give this to Ron. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who's this?
Nathan.
Hey, what did you see? Were you watching the game only on my broadcast or on your computer too?
I'm actually on my phone. I'm at work on lunch, but I saw that player. Are they going to run the last play?
They're going to try.
Yeah, Tom, it'll work. It's happened to me before. The host, he won't get the game over, so he wouldn't be able to send a file in anyway.
Okay.
So it's happened to me before. They had us reconnect and run the play, and it was a similar situation where the offensive coach wouldn't have done that, if he thought it was his last play. But it sucks
Right.
for the D coach because he's just playing deep, thinking that that's the only play.
Right. That does suck. I wonder
But
if
it'll reconnect from Tom's end because he was the host.
Right. So, but it sounds like Ron thought the game was over. He might not even try to reconnect. He might.
Well, he gets the game over pop up, but Tom doesn't, and it's because of that 1 second glitch.
Gotcha.
So they're just going to have to reconnect from Tom's end because they're both not getting at least in the other leagues where you have to send in, everyone has to send files in.
Right.
That's the policy.
Right. But I think what I'm saying is that Ron says he got called into work, and he's just going to. He's not going to reconnect. I think he's like going to say, "Hey, I won the game. It's over. I have to go to work." And I don't see him even attempting to reconnect. Right now, I'm on the watch game, and it just says waiting for server teams. I don't know what chat's going on between Ron and Tom, but Ron might refuse to connect.
Well, he's going to have to. I mean, didn't it? Tom's the one that sends in the file. He was the host.
Right.
And also on that play, no one's going to throw a short pass in that situation. They'd at least take their chances with a bomb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run with Freeman. I mean, otherwise, yeah, that's. I think pretty much you always go with the hosts end of things, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it just sucks that it sucks that Strat hasn't fixed that, because this has happened before.
Yep.
Where it's like a second off. Like one side has a second discrepancy.
Happened to me this year in Frozen Tundra, I think it was, where on the last I showed there would have been a second left, and I was playing Dave Will, and he on his end it said game over, and I never got that, so we had to reconnect, and I kicked the field goal that tied it. So pretty much exact same situation as this.
Yeah. So let's see what happens here. That was pretty nice, fun play.
Yeah. Maybe they're calling Ed.
I'm glad I was recording it so they can see what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure by this point in time, everyone's probably had that glitch happen at least once.
Right, exactly. It's
Doesn't
just so
always happen in a big
I'm sure it's
situation.
frustrating from Ron's side because he thought the game was over, and now Tom's going to get a 2-6 chance. Although I have a feeling the field goal is going to miss just because of all this, the controversy would he create if he made it. But
Doesn't sound very scientific.
I know it doesn't. Well, 2-6 chance that there's a greater chance that 7-12 it doesn't hit, and plus he's at the edge, so you might get that variable that pushes him outside of the 39.
Yeah,
well, we'll see.
That could go either way, though. That could push him into range too.
That's true. That's true. They very well could.
Although I think, what's he at, the 36?
36, yeah.
He's got a slightly better chance it pushes him out then, I guess.
Are you at lunch right now, Nathan?
Yeah, I'm sitting in my car on lunch.
Nice.
I'm on a road trip and I forgot to bring my computer, so I'm not very happy.
Oh no! What road trip are you on?
For work, I'm in Olympia, Washington, working, and that's like a couple hours from home, and then I got to go another hour and a half out to the far coast.
Gotcha. I got to call Ron. He needs a little help. I'm going to put this on hold for a second. I'll be right back. Well, did you save your log file first? Your log file? So, I mean, might want to save your log file, because my suggestion, I know this will work if you restore the league file and then load my save that I sent you, and then you'll be able to join Tom. You don't have to select the league on the left side, because you're right, there will be no pre-file. Okay, then I wouldn't worry about it. If you never look at the log files, it's just a log file, so you can see the dice rolls. It's in the logs directory. If you go to your C drive, Strat football leagues, and then the SOMIFA playoff leagues, there's a directory in there called logs, and that has. It's a bug with Strat where one side says 1 second left and the other side says 8 seconds left. This is something that something in their code that has gone wrong for God knows how long. The host had 8 seconds left. The broadcast that you'll see on the broadcast, there was 8 seconds left on the clock. Their white die was a 2 and it went out of bounds. It was a short pass for 15 yards with a white die 2 and he got out of bounds. Right. That's why I want you to save your log file. So that's why I need you to go into so click leagues, double click on leagues to go in there. And then there should be a folder there called SOMIFA 2016 SOMIFA playoffs. It should be like League 17. Okay, and then inside there is the directory called logs. Copy all those log files to your desktop or somewhere else, because when you do my step to restore the league file, it's going to wipe all those out. Should do it, yeah. If you see them there, you're all set. Okay. Now I want you to go up to the SOMIFA website. Yeah, so let's just see if the field goal misses. I have a feeling, I don't know why I have this feeling, but I have a feeling the field goal is going to miss. You've called a really good game. It's been really exciting to watch. And it would be nice for it to go to overtime, just to give us more strat, but I understand what you're saying. We'll have to finish it a different day, but it's been a fun game to watch, that's for sure. No. Right, no problem. So if you, nah, but we've all, yeah, I know, Ron. We've all been through this before with, yeah, he's told me all about it. So maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's payback time for him to miss the field goal. But anyway, you'll see a link there. Okay. Exit the game too, by the way. If you have the game open, close the game. Okay, you want the link that says playoff round 2 league file. That's okay. There you go. Save it on your desktop. You can open that up and you'll see a .leag file. That's the one you want to put on your desktop or put in the. I like to put in the downloads directory, but you put it wherever you can find it. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, drop it in downloads. Yep. Yep. Put that into downloads. Now go to League Manager. Sure. Nice. Perfect. Yep, and you're going to restore it. Hey, you're pretty darn good. Yeah, SOMIFA P2.leag. No, you're gonna restore it. Yeah, gonna restore it. Okay, perfect. Now, you really don't need to do anything else, but just to make it easier on you, put the pre-file in the receive directory like you normally would. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, put that pre. Correct. You want to put it in receive. Yeah, and you don't have to do anything else. When Tom gives you the game ID, you'll be able to join, just like you normally would. Sure. Right. Yes. That's why we had to wipe out the leak file. That's why I wanted you to save your log files. And okay, so he's okay. Well, Tom gave us the game ID, so let's see what happens. Sure. The number is 41686. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, even the NFL doesn't have this. We go directly down to the coach. It's Ron Dickinson as they line up for the potential game-tying field goal. Sebastian Janikowski is the kicker. He's 2 through 6 from 33 to 39. Here's the snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. It was an adjustment of minus -4 or -5 to take it into 2 through 10 range. Yes, the adjustment was -4. So we're ready for overtime. This is where we have to save it and finish it tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, I do need to get in. If you and Tom discuss and you guys can do it by 1 my time tomorrow, kindly just email me whatever works for you guys, and we'll do it then, if that's okay.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm sorry I got to bail on you, but I told about 3 I'm going to be late now.
Okay, so by 1 o'clock, we need to finish by 1 o'clock. So we need to start at like.
No. I don't have to be at work till like 4 o'clock. So I have up until 3 o'clock to be actually done. So any time where I can be done by 3.
Okay.
My time.
Gotcha. Well, I'll let you and Tom work it out. I'll make it work for me.
Okay, would you pass that along to him?
Sure.
I really want to run.
Okay, you got it, man. Take care and have a good day at work.
Hey, thanks for calling me, Dennis.
No problem. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So there you have it, folks. The game is into overtime. So yeah, that's just a strap bug. All right, folks, that's gonna shut the broadcast down. That was exciting, and thanks to Nathan for listening. And I'll put this on the server. We'll have to wait for the conclusion tomorrow. Talk to you guys later. Bye.